and it's not my fault, it's how I'm programmed to function. I look at the sun and I look in the mirror.
I wanted to ask you first of all, you've been around since the early days of UK garage and stuff like that back in early 2000. How's your sound progressed since that time, and how have you developed since that movement was so big for you back then?
The Wideboys has always been the name that we've kind of put our faces to.
Yeah.
But we've always done background productions in the past.
Yeah.
And we're still doing that. So garage is just one of the things. That's where our true love is, isn't it?
Yeah, especially like at the time, it was, you know, we were really involved within the scene.
Yeah.
And but we were constantly working on other projects at the same time.
Yeah.
So although we were most known for that, we were doing pop production and drum and bass and house and all sorts of different things under various different guises. But it just happened to be that was our front name for like us as a pair type thing.
Yeah.
We've always done things like I've always played in bands, guitar, bass, and stuff like that. So I come from quite a musical like background, and Ed comes from like the urban DJ producer side of it. Yeah, and really our sound has developed from there. We're always looking to push things forward, bring in new elements, be one step ahead of the game, be one step ahead of the tide. So we're always looking at developing our sounds and taking the influences from all types of different musics.
Yeah.
And what I found was when I just wrote stuff on my own, it was quite musical.
Yeah.
When Ed wrote stuff on his own, it was quite heavy. And it was only really the Wideboys magic happened when both of those elements were combined.
Yeah. Very cool. I was going to also ask, I know that you've sort of started with sort of more UK artists as far as I know, and then gradually you got more US clients. Do you feel like the sound differs in what regards to what the UK artists want as opposed to the US?
Basically, I mean, I think that we get a lot of work in the States because A, we've got a great manager, but B, our sound is quite international, and we have like we have a lot of love from American acts for our perhaps British sound almost.
Yeah.
America's very accepting of our sound, and they come to the UK for that particular sound.
Definitely, and we seem to get that from sort of European places and also places like Japan and stuff where we
Australia,
where we do stuff for various artists around the world. I mean, I think we have, I wouldn't say a British sound or American sound. It's just a sound that we work on and constantly develop. But it's great to be working with such high-profile, worldwide acts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And also, working for America is really good because I'm nocturnal.
Yep. Very nice.
I'm also 8 hours behind everyone.
Yep.
So, when you guys are awake, he's awake when most other normal people are asleep. So I have to be awake too.
Very cool. So, how much input do you get from an artist label with regards to the sound that they want? Are you free to sort of develop your own ideas, or do they give you like, okay, we would like it kind of to sound like this, and you have to work within those boundaries?
It varies. A lot of A&R guys really like to get involved.
Yeah.
What we normally do is really study the brief together and just make sure that we know whereabouts in the marketplace they want to place our mix.
Yeah.
And then kind of build it backwards from there, really, but also making sure that we stamp the Wideboys sound on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think each individual product is different. Like some people just say, get on with it, we just want a Wideboys thing, or other times it's like, we really want it to be like this or like that, and you know, we have to work. But we're really flexible, so either way is good for us. But the most hardest A&R man to please is our own manager.
Oh yeah.
He tries to get involved.
He shoves some screams at us if we get it wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So further to that, I was going to say, do you find it hard to stay true to your sound? But like you just said, you kind of manage to combine both what they want and what you want, really.
Yeah. If we find that the product is getting watered down too much, or if it's something that we feel that we can't put a Wideboy stamp on, we will back down from the project and refuse it politely. Yeah,
definitely. There's been plenty of instances where we just heard a piece of music from the start and just said, you know what, it's not that the music is good or bad, it's just we can't actually better it or put our own stamp on it because it's either perfect how it is or we can't really interpret it. But that doesn't happen too often, but you know, it does happen. And when you have had instances where people have gone, can you change this, can you change that, can you change this, can you change that, and it's got to where it's like, we wouldn't change that, we're just going to have to like, you know,
it doesn't happen very often.
But we are happy to work with people on getting the sound that they want, but when it does too far away from what we do, it's just, yeah.
So how does the remix process work when you're in the studio together?
Well, what we do is we'll listen to the original tune, sit down on a piano, work out all the chords, take some themes from those chords, I suppose. Sometimes we'll go exactly with the chords, and then put the vocal up there, put a beat down, and then when it comes to doing the bass line, I get chucked out the studio. That's the next involved.
Mention the word bass and I'm lively.
It's your turn, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. So,
we take it.
Oh, go ahead. Carry on.
Oh God, I was going to say, we take it in turns as well, and like sometimes, you know, Jim's got a really great ear for mix downs, and sometimes I have a good idea for synth lines, and but we chop and change, and you know, sometimes I'll be sitting there, sometimes Jim will be sitting there, and it works really nicely like that, and we are quite strict with ourselves.
Yeah, we are.
We never argue in the studio. We've never had an argument once in the studio. It's an idea that's bad, we just go, that's a bad idea, move on, and it seems to work really well. High five on that one.
High five on that one.
Very nice, very nice.
One is the other day I was doing a tune, I was in the studio, and Ed was directing me from the toilet next door.
Yes. Wow, that's some direction for you.
Echoey, yes.
That's a good one.